देना। गुरुदेव दया करके करुणा निधि नाम तेरा, करुणा बरसाओ तो। करुणा निधि नाम तेरा, करुणा बरसाओ तो। सोए हुए भाग्य को जगाओ तो। सोए हुए भाग्यों को तेरा जगाओ तो। हे नाथ जगाओ तो, हे नाथ जगाओ मेरी नाम भंवर डोले, उसे पार लगा देना। मेरे नाम भंवर डोले, उसे पार लगा देना। गुरुदेव दया करके मुझको अपना देना। गुरुदेव दया करके मुझको अपना देना। तुम सुख के सागर हो, भक्ति के सहारे हो। तुम सुख के सागर हो, भक्ति के सहारे हो। मेरे मन में समाये हो, मुझे प्राणों से प्यारे हो। मेरे मन में समाये हो, मुझे प्राणों से प्यारे हो। मुझे प्राणों से प्यारे हो, मुझे प्राणों से प्यारे हो। नित माला जपो तेरी, मेरे दोष भुला देना। नित माला जपो तेरी, मेरे दोष भुला देना। गुरुदेव दया करके मुझको अपना देना। गुरुदेव दया करके मुझको अपना देना। मैं संत का सेवक हूँ, गुरु चरण का दास हूँ। मैं संत का सेवक हूँ, गुरु चरण का दास हूँ। नहीं नाथ भुलाना मुझे, इस जग में अकेला हूँ। नहीं नाथ भुलाना मुझे, इस जग में अकेला हूँ। इस जग में अकेला हूँ, इस जग में अकेला हूँ। तेरे द्वार का भिखारी हूँ, नहीं दिल से भुला देना। तेरे द्वार का भिखारी हूँ, मुझको अपना लेना। गुरुदेव दया करके मुझको अपना लेना। मैं शरण परा तेरी चरणों में जगा देना। मैं शरण परा तेरी चरणों में जगा देना। चरणों में जगा देना। चरणों में जगा देना। गुरुदेव दया करके मुझको अपना देना। गुरुदेव दया करके मुझको अपना देना। जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा।
श्रीता कमला कुच मंगल है। हरि सीता हरि सीता कमला कुच मंगल है। हरि धृता कुंडला धृता कुंडला कलिता ललिता वनमाल। सीता जय जय देव हरे 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 जय जय देव हरे। जिनमणि मंडल मंगलाए हरि जिनमणि मंडल मंगलाए। भव खंडलाए भव खंडल मुनि जन मानस हंस। भव खंडल मुनि जन मानस हंस। जय जय देव हरे 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 जय जय देव दीनेश जनरञ्जन यदुकुलनलिनीश जय जय देव हरे 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 जय जय देव हरे Jaya Deva Hare 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 Jaya Deva Hare Hare Sita Kamala Kucha Mala Hare Hare Sita Kamala Kucha Mala Hare Sita Kamala Kucha Mala Hare Sita Kamala Kucha Mala Sita Kundala Rita Kundala Kalita Lalita Vana Mala Kundala Kalita Lalita Vana Mala Jaya Jaya Deva Hare 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 Jaya Deva Hare 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 Jaya Jaya Deva Hare 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 Jai Radhe Jai Radhe Jai Radhe Jai Radhe Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Gaur Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Gaur Hari Bol
Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol
Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Gaur Hari Bol Gaur Hari Bol
Hari Bol Hari Bol
Gaur Hari Bol Gaur Premanande Hari
Song was very dear to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and also to Jagannath. When anyone outside the temple in night, in thrones, in jungle, if anyone reciting this Mangala Charanam Giti, Jagannath used to come running away from his temple. Mahaprabhu used to become mad and want to embrace who is singing. Jadi hridaye sarasang manaha jadi vilasu kalasu kutuhalam avali surun sada. If you want to make your heart saras, full of saras, if you want to know the sweet pastimes of Krishna, you must hear this Komal Kanta Padavali of we have published his book, Gita Govinda. Those who are qualified to read this book, they can read and they can see how high class of love is there. Then you can. We are going to discuss here Harikatha for 7 days. So I want that we should pray to Nrsimhadev, Nrsimha Kirtan. Not harmonium, Bhaja. Where? You should take.
Namaste Narashringaya Namaste Sringo, Paraton Sringo, Yato Yato Yami Taton Sringo, Bahir Sringo, Vidain Sringo, Sringamadhyam Sharanam Prabhati Sabakara Kamala Varena Kamaduta Sringa Dalita Hiranya Kashibhutanu Bringa Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Savakara Kamala Varena Kamaduta Sringa Kalita Hiranya Kashibhutanu Bringa Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare O Tavakara Kamala Varena Kamaduta Sringa Dalita Hiranya Kashibhutanu Bringa O Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare O Tavakara Kamala Varena Kamaduta Sringa Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare O Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare O Jaya Nrsimhadev Jaya Nrsimhadev Nrsimhadev Jaya Nrsimhadev Jaya Nrsimhadev 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 Jaya Nrsimhadev O Jaya Narahari Jaya Narahari Narahari Jaya Narahari Jaya Bhakta Prahlad Jaya Bhakta Prahlad Bhakta Prahlad Jaya Bhakta Prahlad Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Gaur Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Gaur Hari Bol Shri सिद्धासन श्री नृसिंह भगवान की, भक्त प्रवर श्री प्रहलाद महाराज की, शिव गुरुदेव की, शिव प्रभुपाद की, शिव भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोस्वामी महाराज की, समेत भक्त वृंद की, निताय गौर प्रमानंदे। Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pachatyadi Shatparine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Namo Vishnupadaya Gaura Prashnaya Bhutale Shri Shri Madhavakti Pragyana Vishnu Iti Namine Namo Vishnupadaya Vishnupadaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Iti Namine Vishnupadaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Iti Namine Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaur Bhakta-vrinda Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaur Bhakta-vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Sivasadi Gaur Bhakta-vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Krishna
नमो विष्णुपदाय गौरप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमद्भक्तिप्रज्ञान केशवैति नाम अतिमत्तचरित्राय स्वासितानन्दपालिने जीवदुःखे सदाकाय नाम प्रेमप्रदानम् वञ्चाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यश्च नमो महावदन्नाय कृष्णाय कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरकृष्णे गुरवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकाय कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय सर्वभक्ताय यं प्रव्रजन्तमनुपेतमपेतकृत्यं द्वैपायनोवातर्यामः पुत्रेति तन्मयतया कर्मोऽभिने तं सर्वभूतनियं तवैवास्मि न जीवामि त्वया विना इति धियाय तं नमामि भक्त्या विना अपराधक्षये कृपामयी तां शरणं प्रपन्ना वृन्दे नमस्ते चरणारविन्दम्. First of all, in beginning, my millions of Dandavat Pranam until the lotus feet of my spiritual Guru, Paramaradhya, नित्य लीला प्रविष्ट ओम विष्णुपाद श्रीमद भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोस्वामी महाराज. And send millions of Dandavat Pranam in the lotus feet of my Shiksha Guru, नित्य लीला प्रविष्ट ओम विष्णुपाद श्रीमद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी महाराज. This is my 10th in Vejas. Each year I come everywhere and remind them for Krishna bhajan. And they should not be believed. There should be only song in bhakti. So I have told you purport of Brihad Bhagavatamrita. ज्ञानी भक्त, शुद्ध भक्त, प्रेमी भक्त, प्रेमपर भक्त, प्रेमातुर भक्त are more than that. Braja. In Braja also, Dasya, then Sakha, more than that. And more than that. And something more. Something more I have told. So you should know all these things. Also I have explained Ramanand Sambad. Very soon it will come in the form of a book. I will explain you Rup Shiksha. I have told you Sanatan Shiksha. So many things. Almost everything I have explained. But even I have touched only. Krishna Tattva is like a endless ocean. I have touched standing on the shore, not in sea. I want to give you even a particle of that your life should be happy. This year I thought I should give you essence of Srimad Bhagavatam, written by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Anyone has not done this? Especially, you should know that the essence of whole Upanishad, there are about 1008 more than that Upanishads. Upanishad. The Vidya, the knowledge who takes us to Krishna, that is called Upanishad. So there are so many. And the essence of all Upanishads is collected by Vyasadeva. It is called Brahma Sutra. But Brahma Sutra we cannot understand. So many rishis, Mahasi, like Sankaracharya, Ramanuja, Madhva, Vishnu Swami, Nimbadita and others, they have written commentary on this, but really something lacking in them. Lacking. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and he fulfilled it. After that, he made himself commentary of that Brahma Sutra. Vyasadeva, commentary to understand the meaning of Brahma Sutra. And that is called Bhagavatam. Bhagavad is the essence of all Upanishad, Brahma Sutra and everything. In Garuda Purana it has been written, Arthoyang Brahma Sutranam, Bhartarthan Vinirnaya, Gayatri Bhasya Rupasau Vedartha Parijaya. So Srimad Bhagavad is supreme among all the literature that Vyasadeva did. So, our Bhaktivinoda Thakur is telling, বলিব এখন যাহা তাহা এই ভয় প্রতিষ্ঠা সা পাছে দুষ্ট করে. He's telling that I am going to tell something, to write something. But I am fearing, like Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. When he was writing Chaitanya Charitamrita, he was fearing. It is so high class that very rare persons are qualified to read this. So, what should I do? I should not write. But again he thought, if I am not writing all these things, then what will be? It will
disappear from this world.
This world, these things. Also he thought, only like cuckoo birds, they takes only the manjari and sweetness, essence of mango. Crow cannot. They don't like. They like only nimras, very bitter. So if I am writing, then Swabhavata,
Naturally.
naturally. Kokil means bhakta, they will read it. And crow, like-minded person, they will not have interest in it. So I must write. So Bhakti Vinod Thakur is here. What to do? If I am writing, then Pratishtha will come. And for Vaishnava it is very bad thing. Ekatha prakash nahi, karibo boliya. I will not manifest this
Express this idea.
this idea. Huh? What idea? He is telling. So I was thinking like this, that I should not manifest to tell this very secret things to others. But again I remember the wordings of my Gurudev. Then I thought that if my Gurudev has ordered, I must do. अकृतज्ञ हईले भक्ति साधिबे कमाने. If I am not
Grateful.
if I am not writing all these things, what my Guru Dev has ordered me, then I will be akritagya, ungrateful. So I must do it. So I throw out my shame and I began to write. O Gurudev, O Vaishnavagan, if I have done any aparad, offense, please forgive me. My Gurudev is Bipin Bihari Prabhu. In our parampara, Prabhupada had not given his name. Bhakti Vinod Thakur is given. Prabhupada was against these Goswamis. He put his feet on the head of Bhakti Vinod Thakur, who is like Gadadhar Pandit Radhika. So he could not tolerate. But what are you doing? Nonsense. You know that who is he? He is one of the Goswami, Gaurshakti Gadadhar, and he still you are keeping your feet on the head of Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur. He rebuked and he ran away from there. But even Bhakti Vinod Thakur gave so much respect to his Gurudev. Bansi Badanananda, Bans Bansadhar. His Gurudev, in the line of Bansi Badanananda, you know, he used to take very like a tree and to make a, like a
Still
flute.
person can lift it very hardly. He can lift it very easily. A lot.
So, I took the order of my Gurudev on my head and I began to write this Shlok Vicharite. Or Gurudev told that you should go on reading and try to understand. And Srimad Bhagavad is himself Krishna. Tamadi Devam Karuna Nidhanam Tamal Varnam Suhitavataram Apar Sansar Samudra Setum Bhajamahe. Everything will come in your heart. So, I began to write. In the meantime, when I began to write, at once, not dream, at once Sarp Damodar came in my spurti, like Radhika, due to Sri Krishna's spurti, Sachi Maya to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And really Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to come and take. So in the same way, Sarp Damodar came and told, oh, you must do it. Take prominent slok, essence of the sloks of Srimad Bhagavatam. All Srimad Bhagavata sloks are prominent. But even you should take the essence of all. And according to Sambandha, Avidheya, Prayoja. What is Sambandha to Krishna? All these things. Avidheya. What is bhajan? Like Rupa Goswami had told, how 64 kinds of. All this avidheya and prayojan, Krishna premi prayojan. So select all these slokas according to subject and make a garland. And this garland will give in the hands of Radhika. And Radhika will give it to and Krishna will be very happy. He ordered me like this. Then, and after that, if you will do this, book will be very, very important. And all Vaishnava Samaj who wants bhakti, they will collect it and read and do according to this. And then he told also, I am explaining myself. First is Slok Srimad Bhagavatam. Janmadasya jata anvayaditartasya artho abhigya swarat teni brahmaridajyad kabaye muyante jat surya tejo bar midang jat vimmayos sargo ambisha dhamna swaim nirasta kokam saktam param. This slok is important. Whole Srimad Bhagavati in this. All Srimad Bhagavatam, all Leela Katha, pastimes of Krishna, all Tattva in this. But it is so good. Confidential. Or it is Gambhir. Profound. That general devotee cannot understand. First I read these slokas of Srimad Bhagavatam and I read the commentary of Srila Sanatana Goswami, Jiva Goswami, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, here, there, but I could not understand what is the meaning. By chance, I read this book. The explanation done by Bhakti Vinod Thakur, given by Swarup Damodar. And easily I understood. So, he explained first sloka and told that in this light you should explain all the sloka. So, the importance of this book is what? That Swarup Damodar has guided him. And he had told the first sloka. And he has told how to explain Srimad Bhagavatam. So, there are so many Vyakhakar, commentators of Srimad Bhagavatam. But they cannot be like Swarup Damodar. You should know. Who is he? Lalita Devi. His explanation is more highest. So, I want to begin something from this book. I have told about the object, aim and object of sadhan bhajan. Gopi prem, more than that. Radhika prem, more than something. Manjari mood, everything. Somewhat you know this thing. But we should try to follow the process that Rupa Goswami has told in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, beginning from Adav Guru se Guru Brahmesh Guru Padashraya, Vishambhaina Seva, Shiksha, Diksha and all these things. 10 items for Guru and then other things. So we should also begin from here, Guru. If your basement, foundation is strong, your Guru Nishtha is strong, belief in Guru is strong, then On this foundation, Krishna Katha and all thoughts very soon you can have. If a man in chanting, remembering, but he is criticizing to others, then what will be? Bhakti will finish. We should first try to follow Upadeshamritam. Vacho Begam, Manasah Krodha Begam, Jiva Bego Darapasta Begam. And after that second slow, Atyahar Prahar Yasya Prajalpo Niyamagra Janasangasya Laulancha Sadadhir Bhakti Vinasya and Utsahat Nishyat. If you are doing bhajan, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, all these things, but there is some Kutinati, some is hole in the button, then what will be? Your bhakti will go away. Even if you have, it will go away. So, I think it will be better this time we should do Anusilan. We should explain and hear this Bhagavatarka Marishimala, what he has told. One kirtan. Not a story, but deep some siddhanta are there. So you should try to carefully hear and understand. You can make any question if you are not understand.
मेरो राधा रमण गिरिधारी गिरधारी श्याम बनवारी गिरधारी श्याम बनवारी ओ गिरधारी ओ कुंज बिहारी ओ गिरधारी ओ विनोद बिहारी गिरधारी श्याम बनवारी
First of all, I'm explaining the first sloka of Srimad Bhagavatam and what Srila Sarup Damodar explained to Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. First of all, we should know what is Advait Gyan Par Tattva. What is Advait? Vadanti Tattva Vidastattam Yaj Jnanam Advayam. So what is Advait Tattva? You explain.
Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubheva Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, in the first canto, second chapter, Srila Vyasadeva, Sutta Goswami, has given the shloka, Vadanti tat tattva vidas tattvam yaj jnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavan iti shabdyate. So here in this shloka, he is explaining what is the absolute tattva, the param tattva. Vadanti tat tattva vidas. Who is explaining this supreme absolute truth? Those persons who are called tattva vida. That means they are the knowers. They have realized this absolute truth, absolute substance. And what is their description of this absolute substance? He is saying vadanti. They have explained it to be yaj jnanam advayam. Vadanti tat tattva vidas tattvam yaj jnanam advayam. Here the term advay gyan is used. Advay means non-dual. Dvai means two. And Advai means not two, or in other words, one. So, Advai Gyan. This absolute truth, this absolute supreme substance, is a non-dual, conscious entity, conscious being, complete Gyan, knowledge. And it is non-dual, meaning that there is only this one supreme absolute tattva, and there are not any other besides this. So the whole existence of this material cosmic manifestation and everything that exists within the entire creation is actually this one absolute supreme substance, Advai Gyan Paratattva, supreme absolute non-dual truth. But yet, we see within this material world, we see so many differences and varieties of objects within this world. All the different entities within this world, living entities and non-living, animate and inanimate objects within this world. And there are so many varieties, unlimited millions and trillions of varieties of objects within this world. So it does not appear that it is all one. It appears that it is very different. But yet, everything within existence is described by those who have seen the Absolute Truth as Advai Gyan, non-dual knowledge. But they have explained that that Supreme Absolute Truth from whom everything that we see has emanated is viewed by these seers of the Absolute Truth in three different features. Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavan iti Shabdyate. They have described that one non-dual absolute truth from whom everything has come, Janmad Yasya Yataha. As Srila Gurudev is going to describe the first slok of the Srimad Bhagavatam, it begins with these words. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Janmad Yasya Yataha. That means the source, the absolute source from which everything has come, everything has emanated. So what is the nature of that absolute truth? Bhagavan iti Shabdyate. The terminologies are used to describe that absolute truth. Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. Although he is one, but yet he has three aspects, three features. Brahman, Brahmeti, meaning that just as we see the sun in the sky, we can use a material example the rishis have given to understand. The sun in the sky has so many extended rays coming from it. So these rays are the very sun itself. In one sense we can say the sun rays are the sun, because the sun rays are emanating from the sun and they are, in quality, they are none different than the sun. So in the same way, the Supreme Absolute Truth has the transcendental aspect called Brahman, which means that he, the Supreme Advai Gyan, that Supreme Conscious Being, he is all-pervading throughout his entire creation. He himself, in the form of his Brahma Jyoti, like rays, transcendental rays. And Paramatma, he is not only all-pervading throughout his creation, but just like the sun is all-pervading throughout the universe, yet we also experience individually that we can feel the sun on our own head. Or if you put so many pots of water, and each pot can reflect the sun globe itself. So in the same way, Paramatma means that Advai Gyan Paratattva is personally present everywhere. Not only in his non-dual aspect, nirvishesh, without any varieties, the Brahma Jyoti effulgence, but also he is present personally within every single atom within the creation and within the heart of every living being within the creation. So that is called Paramatma, the transcendental super soul, supreme soul, present everywhere. But In the same way as the sun globe is situated in one place within the sky, within the universe. And from that one source, the sun globe, all these other features extend. In the same way, that Advai Gyan Paratattva, he is situated as Bhagavan, the supreme absolute personality of Godhead, who has transcendental form, qualities, paraphernalia, dham, associates. So just as within the sun globe, there is a personality known as the sun god, who is dominating the entire planet, and whose energies are the very existence of the sun and the sun rays. So in the same way, the Absolute Truth is also seen as the supreme, independent personality of Godhead, supreme, absolute Bhagavan. And he is described by the rishis, Aishwaryasya Samagrasya Viryasya Yashashashriya Jnana Vairagyayos Chaiva Tannam Bhaga Itingina, that he has transcendental opulences and qualities, especially 6 in number. Aishwarya, complete, absolute wealth and power. Virya, complete potencies and shaktis and energies, unlimited. Parasya Shaktir Vividhaiva Shruyate. Many, many varieties of potencies he has, unlimited varieties. Aishwaryasya Samagrasya Viryasya Yashasha Shriya. He has complete fame, Yasha. His glories and his fame extend everywhere. Shriya, he has complete beauty. He is transcendental form, and his transcendental qualities are extremely attractive. And there is no one and nothing within his creation as beautiful as him. He possesses this opulence of beauty in fullness. Viryasya Yashasha Shriyam Jnana Vairagyayos Chaiva. He has all knowledge of everything. Every single nook and corner of his entire creation. At every single moment, he knows everything everywhere. And Vairagya, he is also transcendentally detached from everything. He exists in himself, completely independent, swarat, from his creation. So this divine supreme personality of Godhead, Bhagavan, is the transcendental source and the topmost limit of the Paratattva. But those who have realized the Absolute Truth have realized the Absolute Truth in these 3 features. Similarly, just like when those who are observing a mountain from a distance, if they are very far away, the mountain may appear just like some hazy form in the distance. Then if they approach the mountain closer and closer, then they will see that, the mountain has very specific shape, very specific colors, and there are some different shapes upon the mountain itself also. But then when he finally comes directly to the mountain, he sees that, here on the surface of the mountain are very beautiful forests, very beautiful forest animals. So many entities are there. So in the same way, those who realize the Absolute Truth, from somewhat of a distance, they only realize the Brahman aspect of the Absolute Truth. Those who come a little bit closer, they realize the Paramatma aspect of the Supreme Truth. And those who come the closest of all, they can realize that the Supreme Paratattva, Advai Gyan Paratattva, is a transcendental divine personality of Godhead. And they understand him in his personal feature. So the great sages, the topmost realized souls within the universe, they have proclaimed by their transcendental realization, such as Lord Brahmaji himself, when he had this realization of Bhagavan Sri Krishna in the beginning of the creation, then he composed these prayers of Brahma Samhita. And he described that Absolute Truth as Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachida Ananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govita Sarvakara.
Sundar Gopal is here. Sundar Gopal, can you explain something in brief? This? in easy process. Very good.
Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. This particular topic is sometimes a little bit challenging. And one may wonder, what is the need to consider it carefully? The reason why this subject matter is so important and forms the very essence of Srimad Bhagavatam is because it's an explanation of the nature of reality. Without being able to understand what this world is about and whether anything exists beyond this world, it will be impossible to ascertain the purpose of life. What is the ultimate goal of life? What is existence for? So, this particular question has been considered for many thousands of years by different persons. Some, for instance, think that there is no such thing as an absolute truth. We're bound in a world of relativity. Others accept that there is an absolute truth, but that this absolute truth is impersonal. So, for instance, physicists today, they consider that the only absolute are the laws of physics, which are impersonal. Still others, they accept that there is an absolute truth, and that absolute truth is endowed with personality, but that absolute truth is many, not one. What does Srimad Bhagavatam say? Vadanti tat tattva vidas tattvam yajnanam advayam. Tattvam refers to paratattva, the absolute truth. What are the characteristics of that paratattva? Jnanam advayam. Jnanam means conscious. This indicates clearly that the absolute truth has personality. Advayam, non-dual. We can think of non-dual as non-plural because Srimad Bhagavatam explains that this absolute truth is not two, but it's also not three, not four, not many. In other words, it is one. But what exactly does this mean? It means that everything that exists in this world, or beyond our perception, has no existence separate or independent of the Supreme Lord. This is the meaning of non-dual. Now, if you consider this idea carefully, certain objections may come to mind. Srila Jiva Goswami discusses these in his Sat Sandarbha, particularly in Tattva Sandarbha. The first one, Svagat Bhed. The Sanskrit word is not so important. It's the concept that we need to understand. Svagat Bhed is the objection that if the absolute truth is endowed with personality, then there must be some plurality or some difference, making many rather than just one. This idea comes from our experience in this world. In this world, we're really accustomed to seeing and experiencing material form. And as soon as you have material form, you have plurality. For instance, if I cut my hair, the hair becomes detached from my body and is a separate entity, separate from myself. Even more so, my very self is actually separate from who I really am. Because the human body dies, all
bodies simply perish after some time, but the soul remains. So these difficulties with material form give rise to this potential, to this objection, that if God is a person, then that absolute truth cannot be one. However, Srila Jiva Goswami explains that the form of Sri Krishna, the absolute truth, is not material. Om Sachidananda Rupaya Krishnaya. This is declared in the Vedas. The form of the absolute truth is made of Sat, Chit and Ananda. Raso Vaisaha. It is the essence, it is a condensed form of sweetness. So to explain this idea, Srila Jiva Goswami gives the analogy of a figurine made of sugar. If you like, you can think of a chocolate angel. The whole angel is made of chocolate, one substance. It's made of sweetness from top to bottom. And yet it has form. So Sri Krishna has form, qualities, variety, but it is made of one spiritual substance. Raso Vaisaha, condensed rasa. The second objection that may come to mind is we see that the absolute truth is sometimes we see Krishna, but sometimes various other expansions, such as Ram, Nrsimha, Varaha, Matsya, and so on. These different manifestations of the absolute truth appear quite different from each other. They look different, for one. So one may think, well, here there's variety. There's plurality. Here Srila Jiva Goswami explains or refutes this objection by giving the analogy of the moon. There is only one moon, but at various phases, that moon will appear different. Sometimes it won't. Sometimes it will look as if there is no moon. Sometimes it will be full. And at various points in between, it will be either waxing or waning. But we know that it is the same moon. So also these various avatars and expansions of Sri Krishna, they display certain particular qualities that exist fully in the absolute truth, Sri Krishna. The third possible objection is called Bijatiya Bhed. This is maybe the objection that would immediately come to the mind of anyone considering this topic. It is the objection that if you look around you, you see so many different things that appear to be separate from each other and that appear to be separate from Krishna, or the absolute truth. We see different living entities. We see the material world, which is energy in flux, and which manifests as various objects around us. These things appear to be separate from each other, to be separate from us, and to our material minds appear to be separate from Krishna. Here Srila Jiva Goswami explains that the first point that must be considered is that everything in this creation and everything beyond this material creation is at all times fully under the control of the Supreme Absolute Truth. Not a blade of grass moves without the will of the Supreme Lord. Also, it may be said that if two objects share the same origin and their functions do not conflict with each other, then they may be considered to be one. In this world, it may appear sometimes that there is conflict, but from an ultimate vantage point, there is actually no conflict at all. Everything is perfectly directed by the Supreme Lord. There only appears to be conflict when we see that certain things don't cater perfectly for our sense enjoyment. And this gives us the idea that there is conflict in this world, when in fact everything is orchestrated beautifully and perfectly according to the sweet will of the Supreme Lord. Imagine Imagine if all manifestations from one's own body were perfectly under one's control at all times. Imagine if during a kirtan you were dancing and a bead of sweat fell from your forehead or from your arm. If you could stop that bead of sweat from hitting the ground, you could make it turn around and come straight back at you and enter the core of your body, of your arm or your head. You would have full control of that bead of sweat, and it could be considered that it's non-different from you. This is not the case with us, but it is the case with the Supreme Lord. Countless universes like beads of sweat emanate from all the pores of His body. In fact, they come out, they expand. So many wonderful creations happen within those beads of sweat. And then, by the will of the Supreme Lord, they come back again and enter again into His body. Such is the power, the potency of the Supreme Lord. Now this particular topic is so important. Srila Gurudev has mentioned that anyone who actually realizes this topic, it's easy to speak about it, but one who can actually perceive it in their life, they're at once a pure Vaishnava. Because they'll see that everything is connected, everything belongs to the Supreme Lord, and it will be impossible for such a person to try to enjoy anything in this world. And that's exactly why Srimad Bhagavatam begins with this subject. The whole of Srimad Bhagavatam discusses this, and the whole of this first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam discusses the same topic matter.
Very deep subject, but you should know even something. We see in this world unlimited jivas, unlimited pieces of life. Also in Jiva Jagat, innumerable jivas, you cannot count. Their nature, their all these things, we cannot imagine. And in transcendental world, Nanda Baba, Jashoda Maiya, Dam Sidam Subal Madhumangal, oh so many sakhas. And also millions of gopis are there. But in here it is has been told, Advaya Gyan, only one. Why told? They are not separate, there is no separate existence. Independent existence. No. All depends on Krishna. In transcendental world, all expansion by His own Shakti, Chit Shakti, Antaranga Shakti. Jivas coming from all Jiva Shakti. And in this Maya Jagat,